as a reflector, how you did allude to some things earlier in our exchange, and what you were expressing was that as a reflector, right, being in the groups and sort of reflecting that back, and how your line 4 was interplaying with that. I would love for you to share whether you want to go deeper into that, or whether you have other things come up for you as far as sort of that connection between your line 4 and your type as a reflector.
Yeah, because I think when I think about it, often the profile, because of the changing profile with the 3 to the 6 sort of comes through as a reflector. And listening to Karen there, I keep thinking about the reflector's Teflon aura, and it feels really quite. For me, this is just my personal thing. I kind of like having the line 4. And I think that I obviously do experience it differently, and maybe because we're only sampling energy. When I identified with the personality side, and I didn't know my human design, it felt heartbreaking when people didn't listen to me, or things weren't welcome, or the rejection was such a big piece. But if you look at my life, I've just bounced off somewhere else, met a completely different set of people, lived a completely different life, done a completely different job, bounced off again into something else way before I knew that I was a reflector. Maybe you feel like that. I'm just thinking about some of the other reflectors I know. I think the more that you tune into that being a reflector, the more that you understand that the way that aura works, and then things are much less personal. Although it can be quite difficult when people find out, because you have to understand, like a big theme on the call, you have to understand yourself first and love yourself first and be there for you first, and then your aura will just radiate that out anyway. But I even looked back at my life, back down the timeline from childhood, and I thought, I could just see this before I knew I was a reflector, so resilient. And one of my friends who's a reflector, we actually did some tapping on. We were so resilient as children that we kind of felt like we had to look after everyone else, because I knew that I could cope. Deep down, I knew whatever was going on, I could cope. But it didn't look like anybody else was coping. So I think the Teflon aura probably. It has helped me throughout my life, but knowing about it and being conscious of it has reduced the rejection, and it's strengthened my confidence in knowing what Kalyani was speaking about earlier, that new people are coming in, something new is coming in, for me, I don't want to sound smug, but just my personal experience it seems to go quite well together for me, the 4th line and being a reflector. But yeah, before I knew that, obviously I could be amplifying whatever was around me, which could be really sort of traumatic. But I feel there's a part of me that always knew I'd be okay, and I just keep bouncing. I feel like a bouncing ball, just keep going.
And bless you, I want to give you a big hug.
Oh,
you never sound smug. You always sound like a big ball of love.
That's so funny that you said that, because when I first joined the quantum design group, I said and I was thinking about this morning, if I could have my dream job description, I'd just say I'm a professional love ball. This is what I do. Some people don't like it, so that's okay. I've just got to keep loving myself. Opportunity to love myself more.
I love it. So everybody in the comment, you can comment on whether or not you think Aisling is smug, or whether you think she's a big love ball. So yes. And probably going to get like love ball. Kalyani, can you speak to your line 4 as a manifesting generator?
I definitely will. But I do want to say I love the love ball comment, because as a right angle across the vessel of love, that just speaks to me. So two really important things as a manifesting generator and unconscious fourth line. Firstly, especially when it comes to your network, just because you're a manifesting generator doesn't mean you need to respond to everything. That was a lesson I learned the hard way, because you're going to burn yourself out if you're going to be responding to everything. So check in for alignment, necessity, everything. Check in, right? And if you are burnt out and you do need to respond, just say, I need a little time, I'll get back to you. That's still a response. And the other side of the fourth line and being a manifesting generator, we move very quickly, right? It's like somebody's still thinking about something, we've already gone 10 steps ahead. So especially when you're in limbo, got to check in again with alignment, because one of the things, especially when I was between jobs and being in limbo, is the temptation to want to go for anything just to feel safe again, to have that foundation of the fourth line. And that's different. I'm in limbo right now, but I'm honoring it. As I'm not jumping to the next thing as I need to do this. I need to know it will come. So again, coming down to trusting and honoring being a manifesting generator, but also honoring being a fourth line. You put yourself out there, and just again, addressing the rejection part is make sure you're not rejecting yourself. That's the thing. As long as you're not rejecting yourself, it doesn't matter who rejects you. That's on them. As long as you're not rejecting yourself. So that's my piece on that.
Awesome. Lots of sacral grunts from me here behind the muted mic. So.